talks about energy levy, petroleum levy, all of that. So I mean, governments have placed levies on petroleum products across board. Please, am I lying? Is that not the case?
Yes.
President Mahama did it, and that's why when people called on him that please, we are going through hardships. Why are you putting taxes on petroleum products? That's when he said, go and sit in Trotro.
He said that?
Oh yeah, I have the story. Yeah, I can read the story to you. If you give me a second.
I hope it's not a headline.
No.
Okay.
Let him read.
President John Dramani Mahama has justified recent tax imposed on petroleum products. He says the measure, described by many as senseless and insensitive, especially because of world crude prices are at a 12-year low, was necessary, even better. The president was answering questions from journalists on a wide range of issues at the Flagstaff House on Tuesday, January 12, 2016. So he said that.
No, you have not shown me where he said that. Go and take Trotro.
Oh, okay. Let me read it to you.
You're opening a new story. I can see your phone from here.
No, I'm reading.
Why don't you read it from the story you were reading?
No. I'm because I took a screenshot of the first page of the story. So I'm opening the story so I can read his quote for you. The imposition of tax of
which story is this?
What's the headline and the portal?
Okay. Mahama advises sit in Trotro and pay less taxes. Kasapa FM online. If you own a car, it means you can pay a bit more taxes. Modern Ghana. .com. Toughen up. Mahama says over fuel price increase. Ghana Web. These are the stories.
So these are the headlines.
Headlines.
So which one are you reading that quote from it?
I'm reading from the Kasapa one.
Okay.
Yeah. It says the imposition of tax on petroleum products is hitting us who uses private vehicles. And so for most of us, if you are able to drive your own private vehicle to work and back, then that shows that you have an income that you can contribute a little bit more than the person who sits in Trotro. That's where he's saying that if you have a car...
No, you are now doing an interpretation.
No. I'm looking for...
Go and sit.
No,
so
I'm looking for the
yes.
actual article to read,
so I want to
because I'm trying to speak and open the article at the same time.
Okay.
So if I'm done and Sammy is...
Okay,
then I can take time and give you the specific...
Yeah,
I'm trying to...
No problem. So you go on.
It's not a problem.
Yeah.
So the point that I'm making is this.
Okay.
Sammy, your argument that things have gotten worse from point A to point C or point D, and that makes a president clueless and empty, it's a non-starter. Because that argument can apply to almost every president, from the exchange rate to the prices of petroleum or diesel or fuel. Almost every president, including President Mahama.
The story he read does not corroborate the allegation he made against Mahama. And if he has a modicum of decency in him, he will apologize to John Mahama. And I think this platform owes that to John Mahama. Because you sat here and said John Mahama insulted people who were complaining about a particular tax. I'm sure he was talking about ESLA.
So I asked him.
Yes.
Did John Mahama say that? He said yes. And I said, can you show us that? He said yes. I said, I hope it's not a headline. He says yes. Now, going through his phone, it appeared that he was multitasking because he was also speaking. So we all agreed that he can do so when he's done and you are speaking. He can look for the story and tell us.
Because I have the story.
So
I've opened the Kasapa story.
Hold on.
No problem. I've opened the Kasapa story. And what President Mahama was saying, no problem. But we'll wait for him to prove that point.
Maybe it is not that story. Kofi Tonto has...
Maybe he has another story.
He hasn't left the studio.
So we'll wait for him.
Here.
Wait. Yes. But at least on the Kasapa one, I just want viewers to know that
the
context... No, hold on.
Leave that. The man is here.
No problem.
He's
But I
here.
just wanted to clarify that.
No,
Okay.
I say he's
no
here.
problem.
Yes,
No problem.
yes.
No.
I'll read it. I have it here. It's not a problem.
Yes, I want
Sammy,
to.
No rebuttal again. We'll read it
what
for
do you mean
us.
no rebuttal?
No, insulted.
What do you mean no rebuttal?
Kofi,
Because
Kofi, if
you
you
started
hold on,
and I came in and
hold
you
on,
rebutted and I've rebutted.
Kofi, if you
Okay, let me read
Yes.
the modern Ghana story. If you own a car, it means you can pay a bit more taxes, Mahama. And then here is the relevant portion that I want to read. The only way you can raise money, really, is through the tax system. And this is quote, modern Ghana quoting President Mahama. It's through the tax system. And the only way you can get everybody to contribute is through indirect taxes. And indirect taxes include consumption of petroleum products, and those who consume more. If you have a V8 and you can buy more petrol, then you are paying more tax.
And you buy
more petrol, then you are paying more tax. If you sit in a trotro, you are paying less tax because 15 of you in the trotro using the same fuel. That's what he said.
yes, but how does this?
Yeah, constitutes an insult that for those who can't pay the tax,
No. Sammy, you don't interpret things for me.
Okay, so interpret it.
If a government
But Kofi,
introduces,
what you said was that John Mahama said that if you should go and take, if you cannot pay the tax, go and take trotro. That's what you said.
Let me read. When he did it, let me continue. You see,
that's what he said.
all he was trying to say
That's what he said.
was that the SPT was.
But why is that?
Hold on. All he was trying to say,
Let me talk.
what he said was that the SPT did not lead to transport fares going up, but it led to fuel prices going up. So it was affecting owners of private vehicles more than passengers who use commercial transport.
But that's a fact.
So that is what he said. He said, in any case, for the vulnerable in society, transport fares have not gone up. For most of us, and these are direct quotations, for most of us, I mean, if you are able to drive your own private car alone to work and back, then you show that you have an income and that you can contribute a little more.
You don't get
a little more than the person who sits in a trotro. This is a fact.
Sammy,
everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. This is a principle. If you are a student of economics, you know that this is a principle of progressive taxation. So where everybody pays tax according to his needs.
So Sammy, hold on.
So what are you talking about? The Mama insulted Ghanaians that if you can't buy fuel, go and take trotro.
You're saying, Kofi, sorry. You're saying that what you read is the evidence that Mr. John Mahama insulted Ghanaians.
That for me, because let me explain it to you.
Okay.
If a government introduces tax and Ghanaians say that tax is insensitive, and the president says that if you sit in a trotro, then you can pay less of that tax.
Then you pay less.
You pay less. You pay less of that tax.
That's not what he said. What you read.
Yeah. He said if you sit in
you don't pay at all. He didn't say that transport fares are not going up.
You drew a comparison. What you
but I
read.
just read to you.
He says that if you drive. If you could please read that.
If you sit in a trotro.
No, before if you sit in a trotro, you read it.
I said if you have a V8 and you buy more petrol, then you are paying more tax. If you sit in a trotro, you are paying less tax because 15 of you in the trotro using the same fuel.
Okay.
And I'm telling you that.
And you say you consider this insulting.
Yes.
Okay.
My point is this. If I am driving a car and I have my car, my expectation is to be able to buy the fuel and drive my car. That's my expectation. If Sammy is driving his car, I will not go and tell Sammy that put your car somewhere and go and sit in a trotro because I'm putting tax on it, and if you sit in trotro you pay less. Sammy has a right to own a car, whether V8 or whatever. He has a right to own that car. So for me, for a president to say that if you sit in a trotro you pay less, what is he implying?
Today, can I ask you a
question? Please don't ask me any question.
Finish.
You are not the host.
Okay.
So in my interpretation, I have a right to own whatever car I want to own. And I have a right to demand that my government put tax the
So where is the insult?
I'm telling you that
Do car owners today don't pay more taxes
No, he says
than
that
those who use commercial transport?
He says that to
where is the insult?
the extent that he owns a car, he
to the
feels
extent that
insulted.
I own
Where is the insult?
He said he feels insulted.
Then he has a comprehension problem.
Why?
The problem is
He says he feels insulted.
Then he has a comprehension problem. He has done his part. Doc, we are closing.
You see,
Let me read
Sammy,
the entire story. Because there is nothing insulting about what President Mahama said.
He says he feels insulted.
Then there is a problem with his feeling.
No, hey,
Then that is his problem. There's a problem with your feeling.
No.
Look, and you don't bring your misconceived feelings on television. We are talking about facts and figures. Let me read the story. Let me read the story. You didn't read the story. You read just one quotation. So, Doc, let me read the story.
The whole paragraph.
This is the story. President John Dramani Mahama justified recent taxes imposed on petroleum products. He says the measure described by many as senseless and insensitive, especially because world crude prices are at a 12-year low, was necessary, even if bitter. The president was answering questions from journalists on a wide range of issues and the flags about in Accra Thursday, January 12, 2016.
I want to get the point he wants to make.
Quote, utilities have accumulated debts over the last 15 to 20 years. And as a result of this accumulation of debt, it has choked the credit lines of the utility companies to an extent that VRA today cannot go to any bank and establish, because I think they owe virtually every bank in Ghana. As the line got choked here, they went and opened a new account in another bank, and then they would take the credit until it gets choked then they open a new account with another bank. He said if we want a sustainable power sector, we have to deal with that debt. You must deal with that debt. And how are we going to deal with that debt? He asked, conceding quickly. I don't have that money. If I had, I would pay on behalf of VRA. He said government needed to find money to deal with the power generators' debt, even though it has been variously argued that the biggest debtor of the VRA and power distributor ECG is government itself. Quote, we need to take that money from somewhere. And so the point is, at a time when God has blessed us to have the price go down by 37%, we take a little money and say, look, let's all contribute and pay off this debt. Because we all use that power that VRA generated, unquote. I don't see what really we have done wrong, the president explained. He has said a portion of the energy levy is going to road fund, which will be distributed to road contractors, majority of whom are local companies, which would create jobs. The president expressed regret that 70% of the population does not know that they have to pay tax. And so the only way is to collect tax in indirect tax. Quote, the only way you can raise money really is through the tax system. And the only thing you can get everybody to contribute is through indirect taxes. And indirect taxes include consumption of petroleum products. And those who consume more, if you have a V8 and you buy more petrol, then you are paying more tax. If you sit in a throttle, listen to the comparison. See, if you have a V8 and you buy more petrol, then you are paying more tax. If you sit in a throttle, you are paying less tax, because 15 of you in the throttle are using the same fuel. Quote, in any case, for the vulnerable in society, transport fares have not gone up. For most of us, I mean, if you are able to drive your own private car alone to work and back, then you show that you have an income, and then you can contribute a little more than the person who sits in throttle. So it is only a problem. It is only a person who has a problem with his feelings or his comprehension who will say that this is insult. Credit our viewers with some intelligence. Look at how respectful the man was. Please let me. Look at how respectful. Look at the humility. Let me hear him. You wish Napo could talk like this. And Bawumia could talk like this. Let me hear him. You wish.
Sammy. Mahama doesn't speak any better than His Excellency the Vice President. Don't even go there, because we have a litany of things he has said. That he's not a magician, he's not this. We can read all of that to you. If you take a statement and read it, and I read the same statement to you, that my interpretation is that a Ghanaian has a right to own a car. A Ghanaian has a right to own a car. And if the Ghanaian owns a car, he should be able to use his car. It's not. It doesn't lie in your mouth or anybody's mouth to say and go.
Who said he doesn't have a right to use his car?
And pay.
Anybody who owns a car knows that by virtue of the fact that you own a car, you will pay more taxes than the person who doesn't know a car. It is common sense.
Sammy, if
that is a fact.
Sammy, please let
the
me
one who owns a car will buy more food than the one who doesn't own a car.
Let me talk.
This is a no-brainer. Where is the insult in that?
If it was common sense,
where is the insult in that?
If it was common sense, Ghanaians would have known it. They didn't need Mahama to tell them common sense.
Oh, look. So we don't talk about common sense. So all the things you have come to say here, there is no common sense in it because Ghanaians, look at the logic. So all the things you have said on this platform, there is no common sense in it because Ghanaians already know common sense. That is the logic.
I have a right.
Ghanaians already know common sense, so we need not talk about common sense.
Yes. So let me.
What a logic.
Kofi,
you don't listen to yourself.
All the things that Sammy read. Are exactly is exactly the story you were referring to.
Yes, it's the same story.
So what he has said is
the same story.
And you say that on the basis of that, President Mahama insulted Ghanaians.
On the basis of that, I feel that comment was insulting.
Who cares about your feelings?
I've said that.
Okay, fine.
It's about the meaning of the word.
Okay, all right.